Welcome back to the show, everybody. We got a great one planned for you this morning. $2.3 trillion market cap for crypto. It is moving, and we have some great headlines. Everything is falling into place, and I think you're going to see evidence of that before we get done this video. Bitcoin mining is affected, and we need to talk about that. Regulators around the world are beginning to crack down. We'll get into that. RipplePartner scores a big partnership for banking sector. That is important. And guess what? The U.S. digital dollar. That's right. The U.S. central bank digital currency. Here it comes. And guess what else? U.S. SEC has a Sunshine Act meeting, and they discuss their biggest cases that they have and whether they should settle. Don't forget, we're going to take a look at XRP price before we get out of here, too. Do we have a new all-time high in our future? Let's roll that beautiful intro.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. You can follow me on Twitter at BackUpBradleyAbove and everything that we're talking about here today. Again, a 2.3 trillion plus cryptocurrency market cap. That is impressive. 1.1 trillion of that is sitting at Bitcoin's doorstep, and that's impressive. It is up 9.9% on the 7-day. Bitcoin is coming in at $58,799 right now and 42 cents. Ethereum crushing it at over $3,000, $3,162.51, and looking at a 25.67% increase on the 7-day. XRP creeped up to the number 4 spot over the weekend, and we are sitting at $1.60 right now, courtesy of the dereliction of duty and intimidation tactics by the SEC, but I digress. We are up 31.30% on the 7-day and 2% on the 24-hour. Let's look at the ranging now of the price. 160 almost flat. We're ranging between $1.54 and $1.61. We want to keep an eye on that range because we don't want to see that too much volatility come in. We want to see the continual buyers come in and move this market up. Now, we will talk and hear from the technical experts about what they're seeing. We're going to hear from Dark Defender, Crypto Bulls 2020, and shout out to Credible Bulls, shout out to Coins Kid, shout out to so many others that put out information. We appreciate each and every one of you. Let's go ahead and get into the news this morning. It starts right here from James Rule. A Chinese province powered 8% of all Bitcoin mining. Then the government gave miners 2 months to get out. Now you just have to imagine now. I mean, how much is that going to affect the network, if any at all, right? Will there be no effect? Will there be an 8% effect? I think the first knee-jerk reaction is, well, I guess it's going to affect it 8%. Well, is it? Because, the other question of that is how quickly can they get broke down and set up in another network? How does it affect it? Does it affect it price-wise? Does it affect it in the transaction time? Does it affect it in the cost of the transaction fees? Does it affect it in all those areas? I don't know the answer, but I tell you this, there is a lot happening around the world when it comes to regulatory changes being made. This is obviously something that is happening, and I think this was in the Mongolia province of China, so that's something we covered over the weekend. But nevertheless, this is a very, very real impact, and we have to pay attention to this and what is going to happen and the scrutiny that has been brought upon proof of work. Right, so let's keep it going here. This is from the one and only John E. Deaton. Shout out to you, my friend. You have been amazing and are amazing in this space. But he says here, as a comment and a tweet came out from John Morgan, German financial regulator suspects Binance offering violates securities laws. Well, this is just more evidence. Look, we got the miners getting kicked out in the Chinese province. We got German financial regulators now looking at Binance, which is not Binance US, but Binance Malta, and saying there's violation of securities laws there in Germany. Again, the shape shift in this space is beginning to really reveal itself, and things are falling into place. Although it may not feel like it, I really believe they are coming together as a unified framework internationally as well as domestically at home in the States here. So let's keep this going, because this is very, very big news. I want to drill down into this for a second from Cryptic Poet. This is just in. RipplePartner Novatti announced that it has secured a strategic partnership with BC Investment Group Holdings Limited. Let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to want this. Let's take a look here. So here we see strategic partnership secured with leading international financial services provider, BC Investment Group. Wait till you see how big it is. Puts Novatti in position to launch and operate new banking business once regulatory approval is obtained. Seed A Series A fund round, achieved. BC Investment brings with it strong market lending capabilities and customer acquisition channels. Oh, we're not done yet. Look at some of these numbers. I need to read this to you, and you're going to want it. A leading digital banking and payments company is pleased to announce that it has secured a strategic partnership with BC Investment Group Holdings Limited, BC Invest, that will enable it to launch and operate a new banking business once regulatory approval is obtained. Listen to the size of this. BC Invest operates in 7 countries, including Australia, United Kingdom, Singapore, and China, is a majority owner subsidiary of the Far East Consortium International Limited, FEC, a $6.5 billion Hong Kong dollar, I guess that is, or HKD, whatever dollar it is, plus conglomerate listed on Hong Kong Stock Exchange. It is leading international financial service provider specializing in leading in asset management. In particular, it has strong in-market lending operations with more than AUD 1.1 billion Australian dollars of mortgage loans and over 3,800 customers, with a strong focus on growing its Australian business. So on the other side of the world, Novatti RipplePartner is hooking up in the banking sector in a massive way that spans across 7 countries. Well, it's when I remind you back here in the States, as slow as things may be feeling to everyone, almost a year ago, it was in July, I think July 20th or July 21, we saw the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which, by the way, is an enforcement agency in the financial sector. And you know what they decided almost a year ago? That SWIFT, GPI, and Ripple, and virtual currency XRP can be used to effect settlement of the transfers for banks and credit unions, which allows such entities to tap into the closed network payment system non-bank remittance transfer provider have developed. This allows the transparency for the first time in cross-border payments, where the sender and receiver can see what the cost is before actually accepting the payment. Imagine that. For the first time ever in cross-border transactions, the sender and receiver can understand what they're accepting in a transfer to settle the affected payment there. That, to me, is incredible. So now, Australia, one side of the world, RipplePartner's deep in 7 countries there, right there, as soon as they get the approval from the regulatory sector there. Here, we have the approval from this particular agency in the United States. So we get this matter cleared up with the SEC, and I'm sure the Treasury somewhere along the line here is going to speak on this matter. And once that is done, guess what? We have to remember this. Ripple's got private ledger for central banks to launch their CBDCs. But it doesn't stop there. Wait, there's more. The new digital dollar project is ready to launch its first set of pilot projects to evaluate different central bank digital currency use cases. Say it isn't so. Yeah, well, it is. Here we see that the digital dollar, a central bank issued tokenized form of the U.S. currency, could help improve financial access and make it easier to disperse government aid. Proponents argue, the opponents say existing technologies may be better suited to these tasks. A number of countries are already experimenting with the concept of China's digital yuan, perhaps the most advanced so far. However, what you need to know is how deep the batting pool is here, the lineup here, because we're talking about a digital dollar foundation, what was formed last year by Accenture, former Commodities Futures Trade Commission, Christopher Giancarlo, former Lab CFTC Director Daniel Gorfine, and Charles Giancarlo, to both design and advocate for the digital dollar itself. 5 different pilots will evaluate whether and how a digital dollar would benefit individuals who are underbanked or unbanked, and individuals who do have access to the banking services, and small businesses. What we're announcing is a funding structure, a process structure, and a framework for how the Digital Dollar Project is going to form a testing ground for these efforts, said David Treat, one of the directors of the project. So we are going to keep an eye on this, and obviously this will continue into next year. Some of them will be able to get results fairly quickly, measured in months, not quarters, and will extend well into 2022, David Treat said. So we're going to keep an eye on this. But again, Jerome Powell told us months ago that they will be engaging with pilot testing of the digital dollar with the public this year, and it looks like they are well on track for that. Now, just the last 3 things we've had there are really showing how the world is unfolding and falling into place together. Well, take a look at this while the SEC hearing and that mess is going on with the Ripple case. We have Crypto Wizard first shared here a closed meeting to be held on May 6th, scheduled on April 29th, to discuss settlements, injunctive actions, and resolutions. Interesting. Could it be XRP? Great question. Jeremy Hogan says here, the first meeting with Gary Gensler at the helm, when he worked for insurance companies, we would have this type of meeting to discuss overall strategy in certain particular cases of note. The SEC has a lot of cases in litigation, but certainly Ripple will be discussed here. Looking at this, you can see that on May 6th at 2 p.m., they will be having that closed meeting, really related to the Sunshines Act meetings, and that will allow them to discuss these topics here. And of course, as everyone has mentioned, you can't help but understand that the Ripple case will come up. You have to ask yourself in this, will we see the SEC move towards a settlement to that case to get that resolved? We don't know. Or will he just say, hey, like Jeremy Hogan had said in another comment in here in the thread, I believe it was, and shout out to him and everybody who's been a part of this, but, maybe Gary Gensler comes in and says, you guys aren't going at this hard enough. We don't know, but they're certainly going to discuss that case. So that's pretty exciting. Now, before we get out of here, let's take a look at what the TA people are saying about XRP price and the sideways price movement that we've had. When the price moves sideways and just kind of falls flat and just sits there, it doesn't take the people in this space very long to be very bored very quickly, right? Dark Defender says, hi there. I am still keeping my expectations XRP to touch $1.80 plus in a day. Based on the indicators, XRP is prepared for another move and will visit $1.66 shortly. And now this was just I guess 2:57 earlier this morning, so several hours earlier this morning, 4 or 5 hours earlier this morning. So we'll keep an eye on this. He says that he expects that XRP will find herself at $2 plus area this week. Well, let's experience. And I really appreciate Dark Defender's thoughts and sharing his insights on where this is. And to follow that, here's Crypto Bull 2020, who says, highest weekly close for XRP since January 22, 2018. I believe a new all-time high within the next 2 weeks. So between these analysts here, we're seeing within the next week or two, they're calling for more than a $2 XRP, which would be a new all-time high for this year, and potentially a new all-time high for XRP altogether. Now that, to me, is extremely, extremely exciting. And that's where I'm going to leave it. Everything is falling into place. We just need the price to do it too. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, leave a comment below. Before I get out of here, I do want to let you know a couple things. I Trust Capital is the best crypto IRA, gold, silver, crypto IRA offering. Tax-free, tax-deferred. Make sure you check out the link in the description box. And by the way, this is Clinton Donnelly who says, we are one of the few firms that have genuinely defended crypto investors in a formal IRS audit of their crypto investments. Our background creates some unique insights in terms of what the IRS is doing and how they're looking at things. Now, listen, if you become a member with CryptoTaxAudit.com, you will know because they will check your holdings every week. They'll check your profile. And you will know 6 months in advance if the IRS is in fact looking to audit you. And they have tons of tutorial tools that you can learn on there how to do your own crypto taxes as well. And by the way, there is a huge announcement here for Unstoppable Domains. Has some massive new domains, premium domains coming this week in business. You're going to want to know about it. Make sure you go to Unstoppable Domains and check that out. And we got even bigger news for Unstoppable Domains coming about connecting with another, I can't say, but I will say soon. So make sure you check it out, and I'll catch all of you on the next one.